Blessings. Thank you so much for joining me in my sacred space today. Love and light. Today I'm unboxing an oracle deck, and before I go ahead and open it, I want to address the potential controversy that may arise from this deck. I am going to be very open. This is a Russian deck. It was shipped from Russia, and at the time of this deck being acquired, Russia is currently at war with the Ukraine. No actual money was exchanged for this deck. I sent the creator vitamins, so vitamin supplements, and they sent me the deck. All right, no actual money was traded. It was exchanged. It was a trade of vitamin supplements. And I want to say, from the depth of my soul, from my heart, I am truly saddened by what is happening in the Ukraine and what is transpiring between Russia and the Ukraine. I do not support war of any kind. I don't support hate or destruction or loss of lives of any kind. And in that spirit, I just want to take a moment for everyone to just sit for a minute and pray for peace. I believe in the power of peace intentions, and I just want a minute that we take to consider the lives that have been lost, the persons that have been hurt, and pray that healing may pass over these countries and all other parts of the world that are inflicted by war, or that peace can in fact reign. So just let's take a moment and just envision peace. Envision persons from all sides of wars simply just putting down their weapons, opening their hearts, opening their hands, embracing each other, hugging each other. Imagine agreements being reached, peaceful agreements. Imagine love flowing freely from all sides, all over the world. Imagining people coming together, men, women, children, animals. Imagining the pain and hurt leaving this world, this universe. And I truly ask that peace and love really reign in this world that we have. And in that spirit, with that thought of peace and love and tranquility, I'm going to open this deck. And the name of the deck, sorry, I didn't even say the name of the deck or anything about the deck because I really wanted to set the intention before I did it. But if you're watching this video on YouTube, the name will be in the title, so you'll know it. But in case you didn't, it's the Mind Maze Oracle. Like I said, it's a Russian deck, and I believe it's only available from Russia. I will, as always, I will provide a link in the comments, in the description section of the video, that will give information on where the deck can be purchased. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be persons sending money to Russia. If it could just be vitamins or things that just help people live and be well. Okay, so we're opening the box, and this is the parcel it came in. So very nice paper, brown paper parcel, lovely wrap. And we're unfolding it. Oh, and it has a lovely green cloth, and it has this note that I'm about to read. So the note says, "Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. Your Holy Spirit leads me in the land of truth. God bless you." And then it has this picture. I believe this is perhaps supposed to be Jesus, and then there's something on the back of it that's in Russian. So if you know Russian, maybe you can interpret that. I think I paused long enough for you to pause and read it. And when I was asked, I can't remember the other colors, but I was actually asked which color bag I would have liked with the deck. And I chose the green color, but I remember there were 3 choices of colors. I think one may have been a brown, but I'm not sure. So sorry about that. But this is the bag I chose. It's a very lovely velvet bag. Very nice feeling. And this actually has a bit of texture to it, so I think this was painted on. I could be wrong, but I think this may have been a hand painted bag, velvet bag, and it has a metallic glass. It's snaps shut, so it's a bit, it feels like a little magnetic pull there, and it's really lovely. I really love the feathers are, you know, they mean a lot to me, the feather. And I think you're going to see more feathers with this deck up close. So we have the My Maze Oracle. It comes in this plastic. It's nice that it held together, but I'm very concerned with plastic in our ocean, so, you know. And this is what it is. So it comes with what looks like a small booklet. And again, we see the feather and My Maze, and I believe this is all in Russian. However, I was given a PDF in English, so again, if you speak or read or understand Russian, the booklet that comes with it may be a benefit for you, but from, you know, English speakers, you'll rely more on the PDF, and I'm going to try to show the PDF at some point. So this is the first card. I'm going to see, bear with me here, I'm going to try to zoom in a bit closer to the cards. So I'm going to try to carry it right down. So you're going to jerk up a little bit. I want to try to carry as close to the cards as possible that you can really see this beautiful artwork. And the artwork is really what spoke to me so much. So I'm going to show the back of the cards really quickly. So the back of the cards are the feather again. That so like I said, the bag has a feather and the back of the cards has a feather, and it's the same feather that's on the booklet that's in Russian. And I really have a thing for feathers. I really do. They remind me of the Dreamcatcher, and Dreamcatchers are very special to me. So yeah, the feather is also very special to me. And I love the colors in it. You know, even though it's a brown background, I do love the colors in it. As you can see, it's not reversible, but it's still, you know, very beautiful. Oh, I wanted to show, I forgot, to give an idea of the size of the card. So I'm going to bring it back up for a second. I wanted to show it in comparison to the Earthcraft Oracle that I have. So that's my only other Oracle deck. My Maze is my second Oracle deck. And I just wanted to show you, you know, the size difference, because I think the Earthcraft Oracle is pretty, you know, popular. So it's much smaller. I'm going to show you against the images. Or maybe it'll be better to show you the back against, you know. So as you can see, it's much smaller than it. They're probably around the size of playing cards. Well, the Earthcraft. But the Earthcraft Oracle is a very big deck. A very decent sized cards. The card stock for the My Maze, they're like playing cards. It's not the best card stock. It's good quality, but it's not, you know, it's not the best. But I really love the backs and I really love the imagery. So, you know, that was good enough for me. And most of the edges are bordered, as you can see. But they're different colors and they're also numbered. Flexibility. Yeah, it's not the strongest quality card stock. I could tell, I don't know if you can tell, but just bending it that little second, it didn't 100% return to straight. So this is definitely not a deck to ripple shuffle. Yeah, so I would say pretty standard card stock. Pretty, not standard, but you know. So I'm going to carry you back down closer to the deck again. And this is the first card, number 1. And I actually have the PDF, which I'll show you later. But having the PDF, I'm actually going to tell you, even though you can't see the PDF, I'm going to tell you the names of the cards so you can get a sense for what, you know, the image is. So the first image is inquiring, number 1. And then 2 is clover. You can see the clover there in the middle. I just really love the cards. These cards are just beautiful to me. Number 3 is ship. Number 4 is house. And it's like a little wooden, you know, tree house. And this was one of the cards that spoke out to me. Number 5 is genus or genus. Genus. Number 6 is clouds. I really like clouds. Like, I'm excited to hear what clouds is about. And then snake. And I believe, because I'm an author as well, maybe I'll link my book in the description randomly in some of my videos. But I was researching Russian mythology, and I think there is a myth regarding a very big snake in Russia. So I believe this, you know, really ties into their mythology. Number 8 is death. So this is the death card. It does have a death card. Number 9 is Cupid. It's interesting. I always kind of imagine him as like a chubby little guy. Number 10 is Duel. 11, Whip. And I really love that it had a dragon in it. I am very partial to dragons. So I love decks that have an image of a dragon in them. And dragons are also very popular in Japanese mythology, and I'm very interested in Japanese mythology. Number 12 is Mask. The cat looking through the mask. And then there's another cat, Broken Mirror. 14 is Fox. 15, Strength. 16, Ladder. This is interesting. Like, it's not a conventional ladder, right? And it's kind of going to the clouds. I'm really interested in what the PDF says about some of these cards. 17, Hand. 18, Dog. I will admit, I kind of wish, like, I'm happy the deck had a dog, but I kind of wished it was a different dog. When I saw this dog, I was like, oh man, you know, he could have been cuter. But he looks kind of wise. He looks like a wise little dog. 19, Fortress. 20, Lion. 21, Stone. This is another one that for some reason I just, you know, liked. I really love that one. 22, Crossroads. So maybe a decision of some sort for that one. 23, Mouse. I find it interesting. A lot of decks that I look at have mice or rats in them. And I find that to be very interesting, because it's not the kind of animal that I think most people think, oh yeah, like, yay, mouse. Maybe it is. I don't know. You tell me. Are you like, yay, mouse? Number 24, Hearts. So this looks very big on love. 25, Ring. And the ring isn't outstanding in this one. So it's interesting that that's the title of the card. Number 26, Book. 27, Letter. 28, Man. 29, Woman. 30, Lily. This is a beautiful card. And if you look closely, like, there's something going on in there. There's definitely something going on there. So this is generally very interesting. This has a very powerful sensual energy. Number 31, Sun. 32, Moon. Now I am really drawn to strong moon energy. So when a deck has the moon and dragons, I'm always very happy. Moon, dragons, and I'm there for that. Number 33, Key. Number 34, fish. 35, anchor. 36, cross. 37, danger. This is a spooky card. This is scarier than the death card, huh? And death is usually transformation, so death isn't usually, isn't necessarily a spooky card, but that monster definitely was spooky. 38, protection. It's an interesting one for protection. 39, work. Yeah, he's definitely hard at work. I love that for a lot of these cards, you look at them and like the keywords are very like, yeah, like you see it. Sometimes decks have keywords that are like, what where? But this deck, the keywords are very on point, I find. 40, wealth. So even this one, this isn't, but you see the coins, you see the jewels, wealth. 41, peacock. Oh, this is a gorgeous peacock. 42, butterfly. And again, I love the uniqueness in how a lot of these cards are designed. Like, this isn't just a normal butterfly. Look at, how it's actually drawn. It's just gorgeous. I think this is one of my favorite cards, the butterfly card. 43, cradle. 44, toxin. Not toxin, toxin. And I like that. It looks like liquor. I like that because it's legal and a lot of persons, I'm not saying if you have your occasional drink, that's fine, but just be careful what you're putting in and the quantity, because this isn't just a glass of liquor. It's the glass in 2 bottles, so it's really about the quantity of what's happening there. 45, networks. I love the networks one. I love the webbing. The webbing is really nice to me. 46, boomerang. This is interesting. I don't see many decks with a boomerang card. 47, scales. Yeah, there's always like scales or liberty or some, balance or some version of that. 48, time. 49, magic. The magic card I thought was interesting when I saw it. The way they chose to present magic, the face of the character and whatnot. 50, labyrinth. And I love that for this one. It's not just, a labyrinth in a physical place like a garden. I love that it's a labyrinth in the mind, right? Because, that's one of the most complex places to investigate. As I always say, I have a passion for psychology, so I really do consider our mind labyrinths. Number 51, trust to destiny. And look at just how she's just standing there at the bowl, just, it's beautiful. 52, everything is in your hands. In the world is in hands. And again, butterflies. I love the butterflies. 53, creativity. And I love that it's a musician. And if you look really closely, it's not just a musician, but there's that's a paintbrush there and some art stuff in the background. And I love that because I'm an artist, and I love that artists are represented there. So 53, creativity. 54, cage. Yeah. And what's interesting with the cage is the person is in the cage, but the door is open. They can step out, but they're in the cage. That's really interesting. 55, merchant. 56, anomaly. Yeah, that looks like an anomaly. Very interesting card. 57, poverty. And I appreciated this as a poverty card. You see the hunger and not just the hunger, but the color scheme and what is represented in the background. It looks like the darkness surrounding the individual is very, you feel that sense of hunger and starvation and wanting. 58, horseman. I also love horses, so this deck just had a lot of yeses for me. 59, temptation. 60, despair. 61, Pominess. That's a very interesting card. What I like about it is not the leaf. The leaf is fine, right? I love leaves and stuff, but I love the close peg because it reminds me of, I'm from the Caribbean, and these are the old-fashioned clothes pegs that we used to use a lot more. I think nowadays, in modern times, we use a lot of the plastic clothes pegs. But the old-fashioned clothes pegs were wooden clothes pegs. So I love that it speaks of commoness, and it has this old-fashioned clothes peg that we had back in the day. 62, Renaissance. And 63, blankness. I must admit, of all the cards, when I saw the blankness card, I felt like, why did they include this one? Like, all the cards have so much imagery, and I love so much of the artwork and the detail. And my first thought when I saw this card was, oh, this is just so empty. And then I stared at it for a while, and it was like, yeah, you need it sometimes, because everything else has so much packed into it, so much information, so much everything, and you sometimes just need a card that's like, a bit of blankness. So, in time I had an appreciation for this card. So those are it's a 63 card deck, and those are the 63 cards. And now I'm going to raise you up a bit because I want to show you the PDF that is given to you when you purchase the deck. So I'm going to scroll up. So it's 12 pages, so not that large. And it starts by saying metaphorical cards, my maze. Metaphorical cards, my maze, are used for psychological work with the following requests. 1, identification of variants and possibilities to find a way out of the situation, the choice situation. 2, detection of fears and blocking affirmations, incorrect behavior programs interfering with personal fulfillment. 3, discovering the subconscious self-image and internal resources. 4, revealing and understanding the true needs and values, aims, and desires. 5, relations within a couple, identification of partners' needs and ways of communication improvement. 6, analysis of a conflict situations and ways of its solution. 7, discovering the reasons of loneliness and personal life problems, revealing the partner's subconscious image and affirmations, restricting relationship building. 8, analysis of the field of material resources, finance, perception, career implementation, search for the own mission. 9, issues of self-knowledge and spiritual development. And then there are work algorithms. So what I loved about it is that my maze is, the very name my maze is exploring the mind, and it has its bearings and its start in psychology. And like I've mentioned on some of my videos, my master's is in applied psychology, and I'm very, 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 very interested in the human mind, and yeah, and how our cognition works, or our perception works. And I'm going to return to this card here. This is very interesting to me, the idea that we have, that the mind is a maze, right? I feel like this is like the card that represents the deck to me, the mind maze. So it has different work algorithms. I'm trying not to scroll so fast so that I'm not going to read everything, but I'm trying to pause that you can, come back, pause and see. Then it has card display, my path, and it has different paths. Card display, exit of the labyrinth, and again there's this image from this card that I just showed you. So like I said, this card is really tied into the whole spirit of the deck. And then life's affairs, relationships. So you have these different readings that are given in the book, and then it just goes down to the very short card readings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a quick card today. So this is going to be the first shuffle. Like I said, the quality isn't the best quality, but it's very similar to playing cards. So, your standard playing cards. So from that perspective, it's pretty good to shuffle because, playing cards are good to shuffle. But, I think I'm going to use this pretty often. I use my Earthcraft article pretty often. And I actually will do a reading soon with the Earthcraft article. Or maybe I've done it already. Like, I never know the art I'm gonna place these videos up. But yeah, I use that pretty often, but those cards are a bit sturdier. These definitely don't ripple shuffle. That's my advice for this. I think the deck, like I said, right now with what's happening, I wouldn't suggest trying to send money. But the deck is worth, I believe it was around 35 US. That's the value of the deck in dollars. Like I said, it was exchanged for vitamins that were of that value. But yeah, I would say for $35, the artwork. So I'm looking at the artwork. I'm looking at the lovely, like the pouch that came with it. Looking at the fact that there was some type of PDF provided. Concerning the fact that there was a guidebook, even though the guidebook isn't in English, I would say that it's worth the money that is being asked for it. I definitely think that, you know, this is my first time working with it, but just seeing the artwork alone, I'm very happy with this deck. I'm feeling very positive about this deck. So, sorry, I'm talking because, like I said, I stop when I feel it's time to stop. And some days, those can be very long shuffles. And this feels like a day that is a very long shuffle. So bear with me as I shuffle. But yeah, I really love the feel of this deck. I love the backs. They're not reversible, as you noticed. So there's a, you know, there's very clear upright and reverse. Like you can tell if a card is upside down. And from what I saw, the PDF does not have reverse meanings. But well, we'll see from the reading if a reverse meaning is even necessary and what we get from the cards. Yeah, so this is going to be a long video, but we're just drawing one card today. So the card we're drawing is, wow. I am so happy this card was drawn. This is the card I wanted. The universe heard me. The Mighty Maze. So card 50. It's really easy because they're numbered. So finding them is numbered easy. So this is Labyrinth. So I'm going to show you the PDF again so you can read for yourself. So it basically says the person has been confused, does not know how to act further and what correct decision needs to be made, how to get out of the situation. Perhaps you're confused not only in the situation but in your own thoughts, consciousness. The answers are already in you. You just need to find the right bundles and threads that will lead you to a clue. You acted at random and blind. Now you are at an deadlock. In order to find a way, just look at the situation from the outside objectively. So I read it just how it's written there, but as you can tell, it's a Russian deck. So it was obviously translated into English and it's not the best English. But I think the meaning is still pretty clear what the card is supposed to represent, even though it's not the best English. So there is some confusion here in this card. And there is an uncertainty with how to act, how to move forward. I'm going to zoom in on the card now. How to move forward and how to you know, what to do, how to carry yourself, what decisions to make. And there's talk about, you know, not only the situation, but your thoughts about the situation. So, you know, something in life, you know, if this card is resonating with you, if you saw this card, like I saw this card and wanted to delve into this card, like I wanted to delve into this card, then this card and this reading might be for you today. It might be something that's happening in your life that you're not really understanding the full situation or exactly what's happening in it. And it might not just be the situation that you're not understanding, but you might not be understanding your thoughts and feelings. And, you know, there's a difference between a situation and external something perplexing us and then having actual internal uncertainty. And the internal uncertainty sometimes can be the greatest battle. Trying to figure out how we even feel or how we even think or what we think we should do or what is right or wrong. So you may be facing a situation like that right now in your life. And basically this card is just saying, you know, you acted random blind, now you're at a deadlock. So you may have made actions in the past that were not necessarily the most thought through actions or the most decisive actions, or may not have come from a way of thinking clearly and logically and, you know, going through a proper decision process. You may have just done it impulsively, or even someone else may have said, hey, go do that. And yes, this is how I would approach it. But it didn't really come from your own thought process and you're analyzing the situation. And now because of that, you may be finding yourself in a situation that you're at a deadlock. And in order to find your way, it's telling you to look at the situation from the outside objectively. So remove yourself internally, go on the outside, and find yourself a vantage point that allows you to really look on to what is happening in your life, what this thing that is causing this confusion, this uncertainty. Find yourself looking at it and analyzing it as an outsider and seeing if that provides some clarity for you or some way of, knowing how to act better. And try basically to make a decision this time. Don't just act impulsively or randomly. Try to make a decision within yourself that allows you to make an action and to follow a path that is truly what you want, and for you to know, not just for you to analyze the situation, but for you to analyze your feelings about it, so that you know when you make this decision, you know why you're making it, you know how you feel about it, you know what it means to you to be doing the decisions that you're making, and you know how you'll be affected as you move through these uncertainties in life. And I think, this really speaks to me as well, because there are a lot of things in life sometimes that, I'm a very random person. I'll be honest, I'm a very impulsive person. I am very impulsive. I follow clues in the universe. Yes, I do that, but sometimes I just do. Sometimes it's not even a clue. The universe is telling me nothing. Sometimes I just leap and I'm like, all right, let's just see how the cards fall. So a lot of the times I definitely find myself in positions where I have to stop, look back, and analyze. And I think this card is just reminding us that yes, there are times that we make these random decisions, and there are times that we just make that leap. It might feel confusion, it might feel a bit like uncertainty. What am I going to do? Don't panic. Take the time, stop, reassess. Take the time, stop, or assess, because you didn't assess in the first place. So you're not reassessing, you're assessing. So take the time, assess. Figure out how you feel, figure out why you did what you did, figure out what you want to do next, and really find clarity. So in the spirit of this card, today's homework, I love to give homework. So I made it a short reading. Most of my readings are much longer, but because this was an unboxing, I don't want to make this video too long, and it's already over half an hour. So I'm trying to wrap up. So yeah, today's homework is to journal your feelings. If there's something that's confusing you in life, take the time and brainstorm, figure out what's happening, create a mind map, where your mind is, where your heart is, where your emotions are, how's it affecting you, what you want to do, what you want to, see from it. Create that map and find yourself, create your own blueprint as to how you are going to create a path that you truly feel comfortable with.